You'll never catch up. You'll never beat me. The school is my domain, and the Franklin is my domain. And don't you ever forget that. I had first auditioned for the role of Rory. I went in for the pilot, and they had told me that if the show got picked up, that they would write this role for me, which was completely new to me, and nothing like that has ever happened. And but then I saw that it was Paris Geller, and I was kind of freaked out in the beginning because I was worried that I'd come across this way that was kind of unknown to myself.
I hate when I'm an idiot and I don't know it. I like to be aware of my idiocy, to really revel in it, take pictures. I feel we missed a prime Christmas card opportunity.
We looked all over for Lorelai because there were a lot of women in that age bracket that could be very interesting.
And it was like, I think it was like a week before we're starting to shoot, and we had no one.
I'm crushed, I'm bleeding, get me a tourniquet. Oh no, they're dirty because Rory wouldn't wash them with her stuff.
With Lauren, they brought her in and she read and we all kind of went, and there we are. And so it was just like there was no issue as to whether or not she was the person.
I was always drawn to comedy and roles that had sort of a sassy, sarcastic kind of tone, but I really wanted to do something where I had a chance to kind of have a more real character.
Get out!
What?
You will not come into my house and tell me I threw my life away. Look around, Mom. This is a life.
This seemed like right up my alley.
The cast is a delight to work with. I mean, from the first day of shooting the pilot, I thought, wow, you know, this is something special.
All right, let's shoot this murder. And action!
Shooting the pilot was hard. And when you're a writer, you gotta wear good running shoes because people just run away from you. The director, Leslie Lincoln Glatter, and I, literally, she would run, I'd run after her. And then we'd argue.
For me, one of the things that was exciting was to create the world of Stars Hollow. What was this going to look like?
I'm thinking, I wrote this. I'm going to get what I want if I have to battle everybody on the set, which I did. But I had so many good people working with me, and Leslie was so good and so calm and didn't hit me.
One of the things I tried to do stylistically in the pilot was to have the sense of when we were in Lorelai and Rory's world that the camera was moving and it was very fluid and there was a lot of energy around it. And when we first went to the parents' house, that it was much more presentational, you know, that it was a world that energy wasn't flowing in.
Is this what it's going to be like every Friday night? I come over and let the two of you attack me?
You're being very dramatic.
I knew when we shot the dining room scene, which was the big fight in the pilot, I was like, the show's there. I know this show works. Whether or not anyone was going to watch it, we were on the WB, which is, you know, very youth-orientated, and this show, though we had a teenage girl at the core of it, you know, the pilot was, you know, mostly Kelly and Ed and, you know, Miss Patty and Luke, and this was not necessarily a teen show.
You and Grandma seem to have a nice talk.
How much did you hear?
Not much, you know, snippets.
Snippets.
Little snippets.
So basically everything?
Basically, yes.
The stories are about relationships, and that's what makes it work.
All the characters deal with the problems of life with humor and with compassion.
Everyone knows each other. Everybody's in everybody else's business. And you have the quirky characters that, for some reason, happen in small towns.
1, 2, 3. It's a waltz, ladies. Susie, do you have to tinkle? Then uncross your legs, darling.
Faded paint is a bad reflection on the whole town.
Whatever happened to giving up?
When standards slip, families flee.
Do you mind?
Kirk, the movie hasn't even started yet.
I like to have silence in order to cleanse my mental palate and achieve calm before enjoying a motion picture.
Amy has enormous love for all of the characters and for the town itself. And so you take a character like me or a bunch of the other goofballs, you know, or oddballs around town, and you never really feel like you're making fun of them because it's so clear that Amy loves all of them.
I'm going to propose something here. I'm not sure how you're going to take it.
Oh, wow, intrigue.
I'd like to see you sometime.
Scott Cohen, the actor who played Max, came on for 1 or 2 episodes, and then just the story kind of worked. And I love when that happens on TV where something starts working and you can continue to write to that, you know, and he's become somebody who has shown up for years.
Career-wise, it was, I think, one of the best decisions I made because I get more attention from Gilmore Girls than I think any other show or any other movie that I've ever done.
You're crazy.
Very possible.
And I'm following you.
Yes, you are.
So possibly I'm crazier than you are.
Again, very possible.
Match made in heaven.
Or in Bellevue.
Must be fate.
Having the opportunity to play a real kind of romantic comedy, kind of leading man type of character, and to work with Lauren, which was more than a treat. That, I think, really kind of made it probably one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I'm Dean.
Hi. Oh, Rory, me. That's me.
Rory.
Well, Lorelai, technically.
Lorelai. I like that.
We'd cast a couple of other young actors as Dean, and they didn't quite work out. They were very good actors, but what Jared brought was a realness, someone that you would believe that the Rory character, even though her whole goal was to get into Jilton, would think twice about having to leave her public school because that means she may not be able to be around Dean.
Come to find out, I was the third person that they were casting in it, and I remember just having like 7 or 8 auditions and having to go through this person and to go through that person, to go through this person again, and a bunch of like, they'd already cast them twice, and so they wanted to make sure like they got the guy that they wanted, which thank goodness it was me.
All right, guess what's in each hand? You get the soda.
Okay, the whole concept of a free soda is that it's free. You don't have to work for it.
Sorry, you gotta sing for your supper.
Or your soda.
Guess.
Okay. In this hand, you have...
My first on-screen kiss, that was bizarre because, you know, you're kind of nervous, like you want to kiss well with the girl, you want to kind of impress her.
Thank you.
Then you get there the next day and there are 30 people running around with lights and like cameras and boom mics, and they're like, okay, wait, you're kind of in her face, can you lean your neck a little bit more? So you're like, yeah. And then they're like, wait, your chin is, can you... So you end up kind of like in this weird position, and as you're like leaning into kiss, you're like, this is so weird.